Seriously, what were they thinking? Hello, Jackson Ghouls. As you may have seen in this channel, I have been covering this BBC America TV series called The Woods, which premiered yesterday, and I saw the first episode and I was like, I had mixed feelings about it. I think that the title says everything. No, it says nothing you have to know. You have to go to this review of the first episode to find out what I mean. You see, a year ago, I saw the press release and the first photos from this series, and I was like, this sucks. This looks nothing like Discworld. This feels nothing like Discworld, and it's going to suck. Having seen the first episode, I think that I was exaggerated. I think the PR did an awful job at conveying to fans of Terry Pratchett what this series was about. So basically, The Woods, judging from the first episode, feels like it's God's Guards all over again, only with some major changes. I mean, yes, we have Vimes and Carrot, who are Vimes and Carrot, and we all know and love. Carrot has just been transferred to the Nightwoods in Ankh-Morpork, which is run by Captain Vimes, who's an alcoholic and a cynic. You know, he's the idealistic 7-foot dwarf, and he finds out that basically criminals run on Morpork, and they have guilds, and they are immune to the law. They can steal and kill with immunity. So he's outraged. For the rest of it, it's God's Guards, yes. But instead of having Sergeant Cullen, we have Detritus. Instead of having Nobby Nobbs, we have Angua. We have Charity Longbottom thrown in there for some reason. Lady Sybil is Batwoman. I know. Instead of having the Grand Master of the Conspirators, we have Carcer Dunn from Nightwoods. And this Carcer Dunn is much different to the Carcer we know. I mean, the Carcer in Nightwoods was psychotic John DeJohn, and this one, he's a gang leader, and he had recruited some Vimes, a very young some Vimes. He had him join the Nightwoods, and then when he confronts and murders Captain Keel, some breaks, he becomes the captain of the Woods, and he hunts Carcer down. They climb atop the Unseen University, the rooftop. Well, there's a storm, and there Carcer Dunn falls to his death. Or so some thought. And we flash forward 20 years to the present, and Vine's an alcoholic, a cynic, as I said. But when Carrot does his duty and tries to break a fight in a pub, because he has this idea that they want to do their job in Morpork, which is insane, he thinks he sees Carcer Dunn and tries to follow him. There he is subdued by Lady Sybil, who is Batwoman, she's young, she's athletic, she's badass, and they start searching for Carcer Dunn together. And that's pretty much the entire first episode, and I have to say it was not that bad. There were some things I did like, and some things that don't work for me. I really like this version of Ankh-Morpork. Yes, it's not the medieval fantasy metropolis we were expecting to see. It's much more urban and steampunkish, or maybe cyberpunkish, but it kind of works. I think there is this sense of urban chaos, of this sprawl atop another sprawl. The arcades and the terraces and the many layers of Morpork are really interesting. They create a very chaotic and Discworldly feel. It kind of works. Visually, this version of Discworld conveys a lot of what Terry Pratchett was about on its core, and that's a big, big plus. And actually, I think they have read the books, and they do everything to add little bits of everything in there. The characters are close to who they are from the books. Well, yes, there are some changes to Vimes, but whatever. Okay, Lady Sybil is not, but I can really see her as an original character in there, as a Batman-like persona that the Discworld lacked, because superhero was not a big thing when Terry Pratchett was writing these books. So it fits. I think that it gets some things right in the where it's going, or what was the intent. But you know what? If something works, It works for a reason. You don't try to change it too much because you may break it. And I think that this series really breaks everything that was great about the God's Guards and the Nightwatch series. Basically, what I feel they did is they took God's Guards template and instead added some of the fan favorite characters in there. I mean, okay, Knobs and Colin are not the most important or the characters you really want to have in there. Okay, you want to have Knobs in there. Basically, Vimes, Colin, and Knobs were the three cartoonishly archetypes of incompetent police officer. You have the lazy, dumb sergeant who does nothing and he's waiting for retirement in Colin. You have the burnt out alcoholic that is Vimes. He's really smart, but he's burnt down by the way law is not served in this city. And you have Nobby Knobs, which is Nobby Knob, period. And they're the most generic, recognizable kind of bad police officers. And then you put Carrot in there, who is the epitome of heroic hero, the chosen one. And he actually inspires Vimes to become better. And you have Lady Sybil, who is an older, softer, idealistic woman who is the perfect counterpoint to Vimes. She's not a manic pixie dream path woman. He's there as a counterbalance and instill him to a more idealistic version of himself too. It works because these characters are heroic. They are basically every sort of bad cop you'll see in a show, but they're the heroes of this book. And then you have characters like Angua, Detritus, and Ciri that come in later books, and you have their own story arcs developed on these books. Here we start with Carrot coming in and meeting this cynical woods, and Angua is already established as a werewolf that is accustomed to the city. You have Ciri, who has already identifying as a human, and that's what a female dwarf looks like in The Watch. So her entire arc is missing, and we love Ciri because of her arc of identifying as a female dwarf, something that does not exist, because every dwarf looks male in fantasy, and I think that Terry Pratchett was going for that, make a joke about that, but there are no female dwarfs in fantasy fiction, and actually channels that are coming out of every sort of minority or breaking the cultural mold in a story that is nonsensical. I mean, can you imagine that there's a race where they have no binary genders? What's that? And everybody can feel that they can identify with that because it's something out of the human experience. At the same time, it's rooted in the human experience, so it's a great coming out story for everybody. Yeah, it's not working, and it's not working because
all us kids under beards. First thing I did when I got here was shave.
Some of the things that God's Guards was playing with, some of the cliches of crime fiction and fantasy, how they are deconstructed. And I know that deconstruction and subverting expectations are dirty words, but this series seems to be doing some shuffling around. It deconstructs those deconstructed things, and the result feels like it's not working. There is one character I like, and it's the Socialist Goblin. I don't know if it was a main or a secondary character in any Terry Pratchett book. I may not remember that. I may not have read it. I haven't read the entire Terry Pratchett series of Discworld. I've only read some 25 books or so. I may be missing that, but yes, this character feels very Terry Pratchett, and I enjoy it. It's a great touch, and there's some great touches here and there, like the surveillance camera demons that are killed by Carson Dunn, so he can remain undetected. And alright, the daughter of Cadmiel Throat Dribbler lacks the card, but there's some visual jokes there, like the slab everywhere.
We'd never touch that stuff.
There is some nice interaction here and there. This series, I don't believe that the series will be around. As we foresaw from the early releases, I think that BBC America did an awful job at conveying what the series is about and portrays Terry Pratchett and his work. But at the same time, the series also failed to do justice to what Terry Pratchett did. I think they tried, but they meddled a bit too much with what the series was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, back when Terry Pratchett was alive, the series was supposed to be some canonical stories of the worlds. So I guess they had these main characters who have journeyed throughout all those books as protagonists. And somewhere around his death, they decided to go and remake God's Gods with these characters, and they came up with this mess. And seriously, I mean, I saw Lady Sybil in the trailer, and I thought this was veterinary.
I hope you're better behaved than he is.
What I got from the Comic-Con trailer back some months ago was that Vimes was thrown into an already established watch because he was arrested or something in the beginning by veterinary. Yes, I thought that Lady Sybil was veterinary in the trailer. You see my point. There are things that do not work. I don't like the design of Death. I like the design of this Warlock. I think that the scenery is something very interesting. If they did God's Guards in this design, I'd definitely buy it, but no, it's not working for me. I really want to hear your opinions if you've watched the show, or if you don't care about the show and you're here for the roasts. There were no good roasts. I was not in a way I could roast the series, because it's just plain wrong. It's a series that is not working proper. And that's the gist of it. They meddled too much with the source material, and while they kept some things, they didn't keep all the things that worked about the original. So we got something that was disappointing. I don't know, maybe the next episodes will be better. I think there are some things that they have gotten. That's the sad part. It's not a complete fluke. They have gotten some parts right, and I believe they know their Pratchett. They sort of understand what Terry Pratchett is all about, and at the same time, they miss the point. I know it feels like there was too many cooks in the kitchen, and too many of the series was in development hell for so many years, it lost its way. And people who understood what Terry Pratchett was about, people who did not understand what Terry Pratchett was about, took decisions and tried to get into compromises, and this is what we got. Leave your comments about what you think about the series. Do you think that I was too nice on it? I mean, I was raging about it a year ago, so yes, I was impressed they did something right, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.